Gavin Fish, thank you so much for joining me today. I love that name, Gavin Fish.
I never loved it, but
really?
Thank you. Yeah.
It's one of those names I feel like no one can just say Gavin. They have to say Gavin Fish.
Got to say the whole thing.
Yeah. Got to say the whole name. It's a great name. Anyway, thank you for joining me. This is a fascinating story. I think there's so many things misunderstood about it. And I need to pick your brain so much. But before we get into it, I want to know, how did you were like the guy that knows everything about this case, backwards, forwards, up, down, whatever. How did you get involved with this case? What drew you to it? How did you get to know the family? Just start from the beginning back then, how you got involved.
I was a beginning YouTuber, and I had an email come in from a viewer saying, hey, if you like this case that you're covering now, you should check out Ellen Greenberg's case.
Wow.
And that's all it took. I'm like, oh, what is Ellen Greenberg? I will take a look. And what I ended up doing was just being sucked into it. And there had been a lawsuit that had been filed that I had a whole bunch of documents. And so I purchased those from Philly courts, spent the next several months just studying them. And I was completely hooked on the case.
So, and did you get involved right at the beginning when it happened? I mean, we don't really remember because none of us were paying attention back then, but was it a big case back then as it is now?
No, it wasn't. And I didn't get involved until about 4 years ago.
Okay.
It's been going for 13 and a half years. So This past January was the 13th anniversary of Ellen's murder.
Right.
No, the Greenbergs worked and worked and worked trying to just get anybody to take them seriously or pay attention for years, and nobody would.
Right. Okay. So let's just break down what the case is for people that might be joining us right now that have no idea what we're talking about. I want you to explain it, but for a little bit of background, Ellen Greenberg, she was a 27-year-old first grade teacher. Is that right?
That's right.
Living in Philadelphia, was engaged to a guy named Sam. They lived together. One snowy day, whatever it is, her fiance leaves to go to the gym and comes back and finds her body. It ended up being 20 stab wounds, 10 to the back of her head, 10 to the chest and abdomen. At first, it was ruled a homicide, and then something happened and it was changed and it was ruled a suicide. And this is where it all goes crazy. Am I correct so far?
Yeah. I mean, I think it was pretty crazy the very first night. So this is January 26, 2011. Mm-hmm. It's the middle of a nor'easter, like you said, huge storm. And I think that the first responders just really didn't want to be there. That's what I think happened. So his story, the story that they got from Sam Goldberg, who was Ellen Greenberg's fiance, was, hey, like nothing to see here. I was just down in the gym and I come back and the door was locked from the inside. I couldn't get in. Tried my darndest to get in, and I finally broke in and I found my fiance on the floor. He calls 911. And during the 911 call, he goes, oh my goodness, there is a giant knife stuck in her heart that I haven't seen for the last 5 minutes. You know, it's like this really terrible acting job. Guy deserves a Razzie for it. It is the worst. Mm-hmm. And from there, first responders came. Most of the EMSs were like, yeah, we got a murder here. The police took a look at it and were like, I think this might be a suicide. So they treated the crime scene like it was a suicide until the following day when the medical examiner looked at Ellen's body and said, there's not just a stab wound to her chest. She's been stabbed in the back of her head and neck. This is a homicide.
Right.
Well, following that, the police did a multi-month campaign publicly in the media in Philadelphia to disprove what the medical examiner was saying. They in the media had this campaign saying, no, this is a suicide, until finally there was a meeting between the medical examiner, 2 people from the medical examiner's office, somebody from the DA's office, at least 2 people, as many as 10 people from the Philadelphia Police Department. And they convinced the medical examiner that this was a suicide, and he changed the manner of death from homicide to suicide.
Okay, so I want to talk about that because obviously this is why everyone's, so curious about it, because of the way she was stabbed. Let's say technically that it was a suicide. how do you do that? How does one, I mean, I guess if you have your head, she was found in the kitchen for people that don't know. So I believe she was cutting up fruit or something. Is that what they were saying, that she was cutting something?
Yeah.
I mean, so technically, could it be, let's say that we were on the side of, okay, it is a suicide. Could she have put her head down and stabbed herself like in the neck? Like, how do you do that? Because even if you have a suicide wish, I would think the pain of stabbing yourself that many times, it's almost like you can't physically do it. So explain that to me, how it could be possible.
Well, I can't explain in a believable way how it'd be possible. I tried. My wife is almost a perfect avatar of Ellen Greenberg. Same height, same weight, same interests as far as like yoga and, fitness and all that stuff. So she was a very good avatar. And she and I went through the process of trying to figure it out. How could Ellen do this if she wanted to? Right. We couldn't figure out a way that she could. Now, I have a friend who is a quadruple board certified forensic pathologist. He's a medical examiner, and when I talk to him about it, he talks in probabilities, right? So he's like, is it possible? I mean, I've seen some stuff, Gavin. Yeah, I guess it might be possible, but what is the probability here? And that's what I keep coming back to. I just don't think that Ellen could have done that.